Hi, it's Paul from globaltradingsoftware.com, and this is a technical analysis tutorial for framing your charts on multiple time frames. If you haven't got our Guardian zones, automated support resistance zones for NinjaTrader, because we only do it for NinjaTrader, then you're going to have to do it manually. And I keep making these videos because this is so important, and I'm going to do it again. We've got Canadian dollar data coming out in a little while, and it's important to frame that chart. So I've got US dollar CAD on the chart here. I've zoomed right out all the way back to 2015 on the daily time frame, and I'm going to start with my daily support and resistance zones. They may not affect things right now, but they could come into play at certain times. So I need to make sure I've got them in. So this is very simple. I'm looking at these two peaks here. Okay, it doesn't take the brains of a rocket scientist to join these two together here, extend them out to the right. Now, for me, color-wise, I always have grey for daily, okay? So I've got a grey zone there for daily. Now, I've got to look at the bottom of the chart, and I can see some really, a good sort of double bottom here as well. These are obvious, but have you got them on your chart right now? Maybe not. So I've got a couple more that I want to put in as well. So we're looking at sort of major pivots that that we turn around. We've got one here, we've got another one here that goes all the way up there. So the thing is, this is all did a bit of trial and error, but we're going to make sure we get some major zones in here. So what I've done, so this is the top of the zone on this pivot here, bottom of the zone on this pivot, and this pivot comes inside. We do test it from the underside, so I'm just going to make that slightly wider there. The thing is, we don't want to go into this support or resistance zone in a trade, even on a smaller time frame if we're day trading. These are our Guardian zones, if you like. They're our safety zones. Now, we do have a couple probably all the way up here and down here, but I don't want to go too mad with the daily. I actually think this one is better. We get some really good pivots off here. What we got, I'm just going to draw it in. Okay, so here we got two tests from from below. It does push through, comes back down again, and then tests from below here again. It tests from below here, and then we've got a lot of clustering and testing in this point here. So that's my daily. I'm done. We've got some major daily support and resistance zones. The next thing we'll do is going to go down to the hourly. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I only want to go back a few months, and I want to see where there's some major pivots. Now, obviously this daily zone down here is not going to affect us right now, but it's there, it's on my chart. I've started to frame the chart. So got good double bottom here. So the 60 minute, I'm going to put in that pivot there, and here, 1, 2, 3 touches. I have purple this time, or cyan. Okay, 6 minutes in cyan. So this is a really good, strong support and resistance zone right now. Now, do not be afraid to look at short term and where we get an overlapping, because this confluence of zones is really, really important. We have a 60-minute zone there also. So we've got a confluence of daily and 60-minute there, which is very, very strong. So we know that's a very strong resistance zone, okay? Just going to look left a little bit further just to see if there's something that's really, really going to, help us out quite a bit. Here we've got touch here, and then we've just touched that same zone from below. I think this is really important here because that's a double bottom here. And then here as well. So very, very strong. This takes us back quite a bit, which is good. We do have another real big pivot cluster here. Starting to build up a really great picture here. And now I think that's enough. We've got some pivots here. but that's only 2. I think that's fine. We're going to go to 30-minute now. So again, don't be afraid if we see some of those overlap. That confluence is really, really important for us here. So I actually quite like this zone here on the 30, this bottom there. So I always have green on this particular zone. Let's change that to green. So here we've got a test down at the bottom, we've got a test again here, we've got a test from below, we've got a test supports. That's a really strong 30-minute zone right there. You do usually get a lot of confluence with the 60 minutes of zones as well. So again, we can make that a little tighter here. We can see that this is actually also a 30-minute zone if we go tight here as well. So that confluence is really, really important to show that we have sort of strong support and resistance there. You know, we've not got a lot down below here purely because on the 30-minute at the moment, because we haven't tested too much. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. So again here, this triple bottom here, and all of those pivots from above, from there, are really, really key. So I've got triple bottom here. We've got a test from below, test from below, test from below, test from below. So this is quite strong. It did break through it once. If it breaks through it again, I'm not going to really look at it. But if I'm not going to go long into a 30, 60 and a daily. So this is really, really strong resistance. I'm not going to be too phasing there. Now if it does break through that 60 and I'm on a 5-minute, I'm trading within the daily zone and I've got a lot of fresh air to the next zone, that's when I'd be interested in those trades. So I'm going to zoom in right now a little further to see if we can get anything on the 30. We do have short-term support forming now on the 30 just here, okay? And it will probably look better on the 15. So what I'm going to do here is that is pretty good. We've got a test here, test there. We just pushed through there. Got a double bottom here. And I think this is the sort of zone we should be looking at, and that will be really prevalent on the 15. Starting to build a picture. Now going to the 15-minute chart. I'm not looking at going weeks and weeks back. I'm looking where those zones are on the 15 minutes that are going to help me. So I can see straight away we've got a pivot here and a pivot here and a lot of clustering. So I actually think this is a really strong sort of 15-minute zone also. I always have this as cyan. And again, if we go really micro here, we've got a really strong 15-minute in the bottom of that 30-minute zone as well. If I zoom in here, this point here, this point, the bottom of the zone there, and we've just tipped in there right now. So that's very, very crucial for me. Have we got anything up here? I think we have got a reasonably good zone just here on the 15-minute. Remember, the 30-minute takes us a little further back, but this is a 15-minute zone right there. So we have confluence with 30 and 15 up above, especially where we are right now. So we're on the 15-minute. Now the 5-minute, a lot of people trade on the 5-minute. We need to understand where we are, where we've got some fresh air. So with the 5-minute, we need to look at this pivot here, and we need to look at a real big reluctance to push up through here. Okay, this is crucial. So remember, framing your chart is to find fresh air. I go yellow with these, and to find reasons not to trade, and then to find that fresh air when we do get the breaks. So right now I can see at the bottom we've got short-term support, and I think it's very important we can see that as well. So now what we've done is we've framed our chart. So for example, when we get tests of this zone down here and we get long signals, we know we've got fresh air all the way up. When we break through here, we've got fresh air all the way up to here. And then vice versa. When we come down, remember at this point, when this price action broke this big support of both 30 and 15 minute, this zone did not exist. Okay, so we have fresh air all the way down to here. Now, with framing your charts, this needs to be done on a daily basis on that 5 minute, and maybe every 3 days or so for the 15 minute, every week or so for the 30 and the 16, and so on and so forth. But you've got to keep that framing really, really strong, because you can identify those really strong trading opportunities, but also deny going into those trading opportunities because you're going short into support or long into resistance. For example, we go down to the 5 minute now, we zoom in a little bit, we can see this has been quite range bound. And we've formed, at this moment, quite a strong support down here. We've got Canadian dollar data coming up a little later today. We've got a bit of resistance here, but we've got some fresh air between here and here. If we get a long signal and a breakout of here, we've got a nice bit of fresh air trading into there. However, if we do come back round and we break this support, we know we've got a bit of fresh air down here. And even more, if we break this short-term support today, we've got a lot of fresh air all the way down to that daily zone. So as you can see, this it's not too complicated. Work from the daily, go to your 60, 30, 15 and 5. Put those support resistance zones on, start to frame your chart, start to find reasons not to trade. If you can't find reasons not to trade, so if I had a long signal coming up through this resistance zone here, I know I've got a nice bit of fresh air all the way up to there. Okay, if I've got a long signal just before this 15 and 30 minute zone, I'm not going to take it, because it has failed in the past from above and from below. If it actually gets through here, I'm then interested in a long signal coming all the way up to the next zone. Framing your charts is extremely important, and it's a job you should be looking at doing every single day. I'm not going to show you any expert algo indicators right now. All this is pure technical analysis, frame your chart, support and resistance zones. It's a skill that everybody should learn and practice every single day when you're trading. Whether you're day trading, swing trading, forex, futures, crypto, stocks, it doesn't matter. This is crucial. If these points, if these zones that are basically decision points have been tested in the past, they will be tested again. If they're blown through 2 or 3 times, delete them, reset and redraw, but you must get them on your chart. Hopefully that helps a little. Again, if you are a Ninja trader, this is all automated on multiple time frames. I will put that link down below. If you're watching this and you're a Ninja trader user, our Guardian Zone subscription to that, it's automatic and it does it for you, which is, saves you a lot of time. If not, I'm sorry, we can't develop it for things like this TradingView platform because the logic's far too complex. But you can learn, rewatch this video and start to learn to do it for yourself.